Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with tip number 5 of our 30 tips in 30 days series in July, those long dog days of summer. And tip number 5 is basically a precaution tip. It's when in doubt, get out. How many times have you handicap, especially this time of year in the NHL, NBA? We're getting right at the end of the finals, and you're looking at the line and the total, and you say, you know what? There's just nothing that stands right out. I feel like I'm forcing a play. There has to be better options right there, right? And like the saying says right there, not every day will be a Picasso oil painting, especially in playoff sports. And if you've watched a lot of my videos, I talk about it. I say every day is not a Picasso, and you're not going to get that perfect painting, that perfect pick where you're going to really feel good about it. And sometimes, when you're handicapping the games, you're saying, I just don't feel it. So when in doubt, you get out. That's one of my rules when I'm handicapping sports. But you're saying to yourself, you know what? But I do want, I'm watching the game. I want to have some type of investment. I do want to do something here, And so here, what I came up here is my top 10 Plan B options. And these are things that you could maybe rules to live by on those type of days where there's not a lot going, right? So number 1, don't force a play. If there's there's nothing there, live another day to make a bet, because if you feel like you're forcing a play, then you're not feeling good about it, and then what's going to happen when you lose that play? I knew I should have never made that bet. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that pick, right? We say that a lot. Make futures wagers, especially in the playoff sports, to keep an interest, right? For example, one of my things that I do each and every NHL playoff season and NBA, I'll put a futures bet on a team. Like this year, it was 2 teams. I put Florida and Tampa Bay, and I had a small one on Montreal too. Nothing really to write home about, but I did it actually in the Vegas series, right? When you see a line that was just out of whack like that, I had no choice. It was just on principles alone, right? But at the beginning of the year, the playoffs of NHL, I put a futures bet on Florida and on Tampa Bay. So this way, if you're handicapping a game and there's only 1 or 2 games going on and you don't really like it, just knowing you have a futures bet to keep your interest going into that game that night. You don't like the side of a game, then check out the total or look for the special prop bets. You see a lot of these sports books now, they'll have a lot of prop bets. And the one thing with prop bets, I don't recommend that you go crazy. If you're going to do it for shirts and giggles and put maybe $10 on, who's going to score, say in basketball, will there be the over-unders of, say, Trae Young or something, right? If it's 27.5, will it be over-under? Those type of prop bets, things that'll keep you interested. But again, it's not something I would highly recommend. But maybe check out the total. If you don't like the side, check out the total. Don't like the total, maybe a prop bet. Again, it's just to scratch that itch. And if there's really nothing, get a head start on the next day's card or the next weekend in football. This way, especially on a Friday when there's not that much going in the college and NFL football season, if there's no NHL or NBA, just get a heads up on the next day and start doing your homework for the next day, and then always live another day, right? Tip number 5, always my favorite, my horse racing fans at the Raymond Report, if you don't like the bet, check out horse racing that day. One of my favorite things to do in the summer is when the baseball, NHL and NBA is winding down and we only got baseball going. I love to just watch the channels and watch the horse racing and take my tip sheets here at ATS Stats and then follow the ponies. And one of my favorite ways to wager on the ponies, it's called double dutching. And what I do is I take our Joker selection and I'll bet the number 2 horse. Bubblegum, I don't know, just came to my mind. I always laugh because in the horse racing, there's always some funny names. My all-time favorite is Tickle Bunny. I don't know why. Every time I think of that name, I just laugh my butt off. But just a double Dutch system. So what you want to do is, say if you like the 2 horse Bubblegum and you got a $20 budget, put 10 to win, 10 to place on Bubblegum. This way, he comes in second, you get some of that money back. Another one that I've I don't do a lot of, but I've done it the last couple of years, and that's DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports. And the reason why I do it, and I don't take it as serious as sports betting, I find it's a sport that really helps you get to know the players, right? The one thing you do in sports betting, and I'm a numbers guy, and I don't really handicap I know a lot of the players, especially now that I play some DFS. but I'm more of a numbers guy. I'll shop around, I'll look at the number, and what I'm trying to beat is the bookmaker's number. And when I do the analytics, I'm really getting into the number of the sports book. But you should know the main, I always say the Batman and Robins, right? Every team has a Batman and Robin. For example, when I look at, say, a team like Tampa Bay Lightning, you got Batman and Kucherov or Hedman, and then you got Robin like Stamkos, right? The same thing if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is Batman, Middleton is maybe the Robin, right? I look for those duo combinations to see if there's any of those two players, one or out, and that way it gives you an advantage when you're handicapping that game. Number 7, you don't like anything on the sports? Okay, catch up with some Netflix or watch a movie, right? That's one thing I like to do during the summer is dedicate, say, the Sunday night to a movie night, or even the Saturday if there's nothing really going on, and catch up on Netflix. Because once NFL gets here in college football, then Monday to Monday it can get really busy. But you do have to have a life and watch. You don't want to be in that conversation where people say, "Hey, did you see that new movie?" And it's like, well, when did that come out, right? You want to be on top of that stuff too. Play Street Catcher or contest pick sites like bullpenpicks.com or Hail Mary Picks. You don't like the anything on the board, then play a contest site. I think the contest site is subconsciously it's a good money management system where you're not forcing picks to lose money, but you still want an interest, right? That's the difference between an action junkie and a sports investor. The action junkie always wants to bet on something, and that's why I always recommend to my clients that if you got nothing going on, or you're watching your budget, play these sports like Street Catcher. At streetcatcher.com, play at Bullpen Picks or Hail Mary Picks, and this way it keeps your interest in the game. Number 9, take a time to shop around for other sportsbooks options, right? I always say you should have at least 2 or 3 other options in sportsbooks. I got about 3 of them that I use that if I don't like the numbers, I'll shop around. And sometimes you look for futures bet that other books might not have, and then this book will have it. That's the one thing I've really noticed in the industry is that it's really tough to find futures bet on some of the sports or things you're looking for, right? And some of the books they're really up to date. Others they just place at the beginning of the year and then you don't see it all year, right? For example, like say Stanley Cup futures or NBA Finals futures. Some books will put it at the beginning of the year and then they won't put them on the site for the rest of the year. I don't get that, but some books do that. So it's always good to shop around to see which book has those options, right? And the last and not least, the number 10 tip of Plan B option. You don't know, you don't like anything on the board, you can't find anything. Ask a trusted friend or a capper who they like, right? See who they like and ride their selection, or go to one of those like a Street Catcher site, or there's other streak type sites, and you look at what the leader has. And if you're gonna ride someone, why not ride it, right? If you're not feeling it. So those are my top 10 Plan B options for when in doubt, you get out and you don't like anything on the board. And this way, it gives you a little bit of an option on things to do when you're not investing your money on the game, or you're making a pick that night. And there's always other options, right? There's always a Plan B. But again, the number one thing is when you're in doubt, when you're handicapping a game, and get out. Just, every day's not a Picasso, and this way you get to live another day. All right, those were my top 10 recommendations. If when in doubt, get out, you're looking for Plan B, and hopefully that was helpful for you. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. Cheers.